We are live.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, let me just confirm on Twitch and YouTube that we are live.
Okay.
Because sometimes the network can be very, very tricky. Okay, we are live. Yeah, I just confirmed
Awesome.
we are live.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So, hi everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. So today's live stream, on Twitter, sorry, on YouTube, I just got 250 subscribers. Yay! So this stream is more about me celebrating that number of subscribers. And then I have here with me Mohammed, who is an amazing Python developer, and will also be going through the Python 3.14 updates. I mean, we just found out about it, or rather, I just found out about it like less than four hours ago. And I was like, yeah, how about we talk about that on today's stream? So that's what today's stream is mostly gonna be about.
Yeah.
So before yeah, so before we start, Mohammed, please introduce yourself.
The way you are even introducing me is like even before it's making me kind of blush one way. So yeah, hi guys, my name is Mohammed and I'm a software engineer who enjoys doing weird things. I think that would explain itself like as we progress. So I guess that is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So before we start, I will just try to share this on Twitter. Try to get more people to hop on.
Awesome. I think I would do that on my end as well.
So I usually just screenshots my tab.
Okay. Let me try to get the link on YouTube as well.
Okay.
I mean, I think the part I wish I could set up a proper, let me say, test for in the 3.14 release is actually the speed. There was a part where
Yeah.
they mentioned for some specific tasks, like you get about 30% speed
Mm-hmm.
improvement. I wasn't able to go deep in that due to the like time constraints we had. So yeah, I mean that would have been something fun to like properly
Well, so
stand.
s- s- yeah. So the new release. So the new release came with this. Yeah. Sorry. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Here's a crazy idea. Not so crazy, but I would like to use something like React or Vue.js or even Angular or any JS framework along with Python. If you guys can hear me, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So, I can't believe there was a time I actually considered using Python to build a game engine, and I'm still, definitely still going to try it. It's going to be one of my experimental projects. Yo, I think that's Monday. Monday just joined. What's with the highs? Just- it probably heard what I said about the modern framework thing in JavaScript also. Awesome. I want to share a very funny update with you guys. So I have this is out of context though. It's out of context. I have this project I've been working on in Golang, right? It's it's something like Vite, that's this popular JS tooling stuff. Let me see if I can share my screen or something. Yeah, I should probably get this window out somewhere. So it's something similar to, let me see, Vite. Yeah. So this Vite, basically Vite lets you it powers front-end frameworks. It lets you provide a kind of development server and kind of a build chain for React, Vue, and a couple of other projects as well. I don't even know what to call it sometimes. If it's if it's a web server, I guess it's a web server as well. So for some reason, I don't know. But basically, I provided something similar in Golang, right? Just so I can integrate Golang with any front end framework. It's still in the works. It's not fully released yet, but you know, I mean, I've done a couple of things on it and it works. So, yeah,
Okay, so I'm back.
yeah,
What did I miss?
yeah. I was just telling people about this weird project I was working on, which is kind of like a replicant, what they call it? Let me say a duplicate or a write of Vite. It can be a write. Sorry, that's a misuse of word. Like
Yeah.
a version of Vite that works with Golang instead of JavaScript and TypeScript. So basically, it's still in the works, but I mean, it's actually promising in my own opinion. So yeah, that was just what I was telling them. Anyways,
Is it the repository that you shared with me?
no, this one is the Golang one. I think the one I shared with you was actually that would have been nice to bring it up in this case here actually. But that one I shared with you, I think this should be it. Then the other one, I think maybe after the Python update, we could actually show this one if we still have time somehow. I don't know.
Oh, that's perfect.
Maybe if we still have time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we should just get into the updates or something.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, we can do that. Sorry, once again, my network just tripped off.
Yeah, that's right. It happens. It happens. So according to these folks, right? I think they said they. Uh, where is this website?
Do you want to share your screen?
To be honest, I thought I was.
Well, you
Am
have
I?
not shared your screen, yes. If not,
That is interesting.
then
Let me try again.
once you share your
Oh, no, I think
screen,
it's the
it
view.
would
Let me try again.
is the what?
Let me just try it again. I was thinking it was the view. Yeah, it's coming up here. Yeah.
Yeah, you're sharing it now.
Yeah. I think the link you sent, right? It was here I realized that they actually released about six versions of like the alpha. See, they got to 3.14.0 a alpha, like 0 alpha 7. So they were on this. I think
Yes.
here is alpha 7 as well. They were on alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and I bet they even started from alpha 0. So they got to 6 as of the time they posted this, right? I think it was the seventh one. They now did 314.0.7 and co, right? Which is, it shows a lot of dedication from the Python team, which I really, really admire. They are very,
Yeah.
very fast with iterations. I remember when 3.11 came, it still feels fresh in my head, right? Yeah, yeah. 3.11 was, I think it was
I mean,
probably,
like they released six, like they released six releases, like the first, second, third, fourth,
yes,
fifth, sixth. That's crazy. That is
exactly. If you check this
crazy
one,
ambitious.
like, okay, the first bet, okay, they released the, okay, they just released the beta. They said the first beta would be, I think this one. I think that's supposed to be after the alpha, anyways. So, but it's really, really
Yeah.
insane. And this is one of the speed. Let me zoom this. So this part here, like I said, UUID like 6 to 8, they are now faster, something like that. I think it's even version 3 to 5, sir. And 8 are up to 40 times faster, like when generating it. And this was not even the one I saw, but there was a specific one I saw. I wish I could test it out properly, but this other updates they have here is really, really nice as well. Like it's super cool. So let me open the official
Yeah.
release notes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is like the summary, but out of all of these ones, about two specifically like caught my attention, which is this PEP 758 and this PEP 765, right? So if you open this up, let me open this now. You would see also for people that are not too familiar with this OPEP thing, right? It stands for Python Enhancement Proposal. It's more like a common
Proposal.
standard that Python people speculate on how to go about certain things and how to not go about certain things. And it's very, very nice. It's one of the few languages I know that, well,
Yeah.
I know only Python that has this kind of thing. There might be others, but I don't know. Yeah. So they pushed this proposal to allow except and exception, and this one which they said is used for async, that you can use it without parentheses. Like that would make a little bit sense in a minute, but I want to actually quickly go over what they have here, right? So before Python 3.14, right, this is how you had to write like group of exceptions if you wanted to
They accept.
them, right? But in Python 3.14, right, you would be able to do it without the parentheses. Like from here, it actually makes more sense. Said while like you are using these parentheses to group them, it makes it clear, but it can be simpler in this sense without the parentheses, which in my own opinion makes a lot of sense. I mean, we should be able to do this for one very funny reason, because let me quickly show you guys something. So if I open a new file and I did, let me do Python. Yeah. So if I did something like this in Python, this is where it gets funny. Let me say um, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 with brackets like this. All right, it's the value. This the part of this that is just funny to me is what I'm about to show you. I mean, that should have been available even before now, right? Because this one here and this here, they're actually the same thing. Like with what we know from Python, right? They're actually the same thing. This x y
Okay.
here is a
Yeah.
tuple, so x is a tuple as well. So you would expect that this would be
Yeah.
possible, this would be possible, but with Python 3.13 and below, it's not like that. So let me show you guys. I'll close this. So I think the first one is actually Pep 750. You don't need to bother about that name anyways. So yeah, you could just look at this on this end. Let me, I think I usually like this on this side. Okay, that helps. Okay, so if you can even see, Seth, my VS Code does not really recognize this syntax. It's saying it needs to be in parentheses, like it needs to be something like this for it to be an acceptable
Yeah.
syntax. So my VS Code is currently on 3.14 because I don't have 3.13 rather. I don't have 1.4 installed locally on my laptop, so I'm just going to be testing it through a Docker container right now. So I have Python 3.13 in a Docker container as well, and I have 3.14 also in another or let me say in some Docker runtime, something like that. Anyways, yeah, so this is the 0A7 release candidate, sorry, the alpha candidate rather, right? So I'm going to run this with 3.14 with without the parentheses. You would see what would happen, right? So let me try that. So I'll do pi 3.13. Then I have this file PEP 758, right? If I run this, I should get a syntax error. It said multiple exceptions must be parenthesized, right? That means I have to do something like this for this to work, like this. So if I run this again, it works, right? But with Python 3.14, this would actually work either way. If I add parentheses, it works. If I don't, it works, right? So the parentheses in Python 3.14 is not a requirement anymore. Awesome. Okay, then the next one is yeah, yes. I think this next one was this one too, right? Some people don't know, but it's actually one of the few things that would be causing a lot of bugs in their code without them even knowing, right? And I'll show you what I mean by that in a sec. So this one here, right? In your finally block, right? Ideally, I don't see a reason why um you would come to people misuse the finally keyword a lot, right? You cannot write this kind of code, right? And come here to add finally. Maybe this one did return 11 or return 100 or something. And you came here and you did return 90. I mean, this is logically a polluted pattern. So by default in 3.13, they don't tell you that you are doing something wrong. You just don't know what is wrong with your code and you keep wondering what is going on. I mean, you might not be using it directly like this, but indirectly you have similar patterns. So but now they added a warning just so you can know when you are making that kind of blunder. So that would be 3.6 here. Okay. Okay, so that's PEP 756. So if we go through this side here, let me close this. Yeah. If you go through this side here, look at this now. Ideally, this function here, right, it tries to do some operations, right? And maybe the operation was successful or not. What this finally syntax here implied that regardless of what you return inside this try except block, return 42. So even if you like compute heaven and earth inside this try block, your answer is still going to be 42 for whatever value you pass to f, or for whatever value you expect f to return as a function. The part where it is even more obvious, right, is when you do something like this. Your finally block is not meant to do things like this break. The finally part is meant for cleanups, right? So for instance, maybe you have some kind of maybe values you want to clear, or maybe you have some sort of
All right.
reset you want to happen, regardless of whatever operation you want to do, a kind of reset or cleanup for your previous code. That's what you're supposed to be using the finally block for. But some people now use it in this sense, which is, I don't want to say syntactically wrong, but it is logically incorrect. So even there was a proposal to make this a syntax error instead of a syntax warning, right? So just because they want to have a backward compatibility issue, because even some frameworks, they make this kind of blunders as well. Like top frameworks make this kind of blunders as well. But let me not say top frameworks, but some frameworks and packages are using it in this pattern. If they make it a syntax error, then Python 3.14 would break for them, was why they just added it as a warning, right? So they said in this
Yeah.
case, may emit syntax warning or syntax error. But with maybe when they actually release the full one, it might be a breaking change. But they said CPython would emit a syntax warning in version 3.14, and we will leave it open whether and when this would become a syntax error, right? So there's still a possibility of it becoming a syntax error, but for now it's just a warning. And since this is the alpha candidate, nothing is certain. So I pray it's a syntax error, to be honest, because this gives room for a lot of flaws if we leave it like this. Like design flaw is what I'm saying. I mean, syntactically, nothing should happen, but it could cause unintended side effects, in my own opinion. What do I know? So they said we expect here that the syntax error is permitted by the language specification, so that other Python implementation. Exactly. I think this would be reasonable. So they are looking to make it such that such that it's a setting that can be toggled on or off. I mean, that would make sense. So you would have to opt in for it. That makes sense, and that seems fair for packages that have done this kind of blunders already. So yeah, so let's just do
Okay.
our own run through for this demo. Right. So if we notice, I have this function here that this first one says do something, right? The first thing it does is it does return hello, right? What I'm supposed to do here is not supposed to have any return statement at all, right? It's not supposed to have that. So what I'm supposed to have in this place should be maybe a log message that says something has been done. Like this is ideally what.
Am I the one that is frozen? Like I'm having serious network issues. Okay, it looks all right. So it looks like Mohammed is having some network issues. He will be back in a minute. Okay. So until he comes back, so I don't have Python 3.14 installed on my laptop right now. He found a way to have it installed, but I don't have installed. I don't have that installed on my laptop right now because I do have the but I do have the latest release. And in case I didn't share that, I will be sharing that on Twitter and on Twitch because I'm streaming on the two of them. So that is the link to that's the link to what has been released. So as we said earlier, there were 6 releases for this Python 3.14. Although most people don't have it. I think it was released today or sometime this week. And I think before my network tripped off for the second time, he was talking about, okay, it looks like he is back.
Yes, I think that was my
Right.
turn for the network disconnect. So I'm trying to um, get myself now. Okay.
All right. Yeah. If turning on your video would cause small disruption, you can just leave it
Oh no,
off.
it should still connect anyways. It should still connect. Yeah, it should still connect. I think I just reconnected it now. Turning it back on now. Okay. Sorry,
All
what was the
right.
last thing you heard?
Yeah. So so far, how many releases have you talked about? Because you were about to talk about the how the finally line of the try excepts um you can use that for login. So so far, how many releases have you talked about? Because at some point my network so I went off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think let me just start from this side. So I was saying what you're supposed to do in this finally block, ideally, is just supposed to be maybe you have a cleanup. Let me say,
Okay.
let me say send notification to external to another service, or maybe add log messages, or do some
Okay.
memory cleanup. I mean, it could be anything, but it shouldn't be a return statement. It shouldn't be a break statement. And even if you added continue here and even break, I don't think they would work. But in a loop, right? That's where you shouldn't do things like continue. But in this case, just it doesn't make any sense to add a return there, right? So this is not something anybody should do. I mean, it's going to work, but
Yeah.
like logically doesn't. It's very very unnecessary. It would yield on infected, unintended results always. You might not know, but it would be happening in background. It might just look like a fluke that is working, but it's causing some harms in background you might not quickly detect. So this
Okay.
other one is another example that states that you shouldn't use um, the continue statement or the break statement inside a finally loop as well. What you can just do, if you want to do an actual break, you can say if I percent 2 is equal to 0, then you can do a break in this place. This makes more sense than you coming to the finally statement and just breaking. You could just, I mean, you don't even need the finally statement here. Just do an exception if you want. Like, usually when you have a try block, you definitely want an exception. So just do a try and accept, and that's just it. You don't need to come here and add a break inside of the finally. Or you can, some people can even be excessive and do something like if yes, yes, some people, this might be a good use case to some people, but it shouldn't be. Again, this is not ideal, right? You shouldn't do things like this.
It's
You
not.
shouldn't. It should be considered a sin, in fact. It should be considered a sin. This is how you're supposed to break if you ever want to even break out of a loop. You should do it like this pattern here, right? So and again, this is going to work.
Inside the F statements.
Yeah, like you should break it within this try block, don't not inside this finally block. It should still be within this try block here, not inside the finally. So this here again would still work regardless of your Python version, right? But in Python 3.14, it gives you a warning. So from what you can see in these results here, right, it only printed out it only added the first item in the range. That's item value of 0. That was the only thing that was added, and they finally just broke the loop and it stopped, right? Then there is this unnecessary showcase, but I just wanted to show you that it could also be a thing. Anyways, this does not have any effects on this place, but
Okay.
I'm just trying to show you things you shouldn't do, right? This is also something you shouldn't do. You shouldn't add continue. It's basically
So I actually have a
okay.
question. All right. So now, you said that the break statement should not be used in the
Yes.
finally, right? Or did I
Yeah, you
get that
shouldn't be
wrong?
using it in the final statement.
So it should not be
Yeah.
used in. So when should the break statement be used?
Well, if you wanted to do an actual break in this case, right, you shouldn't break it inside the finally. The ideal place for you to
Okay.
break would be here. You can say if maybe you have a condition for the break to happen, right? Or you can even say if I equals to
Yeah.
5 or if I equals to 4, I think it will only get to 4 in this case, right? Then you can just say break. I mean, this would even break on its own. There's no point of having break anyways. It just wouldn't show you the last value. It wouldn't yield this value of I. So this would only print to maybe 3 or something, like if we did here. So this would only print to 3, right? So this is where you're supposed to break, like inside your try block. You shouldn't be adding a break keyword to your finally block. Like you shouldn't be adding it there. If there's any break that should happen, it should be inside your try block.
Um.
Do you get?
Okay. Okay. And now my second question is, yes, I do get that. Right. So my second question is now is that for the finally
Yeah.
block. So the finally block is usually where we do some cleanup. It's not really where we are supposed to do any particular action or
Yes,
any
yes,
task. Is mostly for
yes.
cleanup, right?
That's what it's supposed to be.
Not gonna lie, I really didn't know that.
Yeah, move.
I definitely did not know that. So in my head, I just thought, you can do the action
Mm,
anywhere. Like if I'm trying to do a try accept
mhm,
finally, and let's say I'm trying to say if I is not equals to 3, print this. If it's equals to 3, print this. Like how we use
mm,
the if, elif, and else
mm.
statement. That's actually how I thought that
I
we should
mean,
use the try, except, and
you can
finally. I never knew that the finally block was specifically just for
not
cleanup.
only for cleanups, but let me say for After Effects. Yes, it shouldn't control the flow of your code. It should only control the After Effects, like the name implies. Finally, everything has been
Okay.
like run through. That is when that block will be executed.
Yeah.
And if you add a break to this place, you have interrupted your control flow,
Okay.
right? You have a flow from here. It should keep coming here. The flow should keep
Yeah.
coming here till the flow is finished and you have your finally to do some like sanity checks for you, right? So your flow shouldn't be leaking to this place in the sense that it now affects this one from flowing. I don't know if that makes sense. You can do more than
Yeah,
provided
it
that it
does.
does not break this flow.
I see. I
You
see. I
finally should
see.
not just
Wow.
break the flow you have inside this
I
previous
see.
blocks.
So, oh, okay. So now in this Python 3.4, what was the release that talk what was the release about the try
Yeah.
except
So if
finally
now running this with
statement?
Python 3, I don't get any warning. You can see from here. But if I try Python 3.14, it comes with a warning. See what it says? It says syntax warning, right? Return in a finally block. It said you have a return in a
Yeah.
finally block, which doesn't make sense. And you have a break in a finally block, not necessary. And you have continue there, not necessary. If you want to be on a safer side, right, that you don't want to think about all of these things too much, just don't use these three keywords inside your finally statement. But to understand the deep part, it just means don't add a flow that can potentially interrupt the flow of the try block. I don't know if that is something I've explained enough or I mentioned something like that properly. The flow, just
Yeah,
interrupt the.
yeah, yeah. Actually get
Yeah,
it
yeah. So
now.
they just added this nice one instead of a syntax error. But I'm voting for syntax error. I'm voting.
I'm actually voting for syntax warning.
Syntax one error. And you're a friendly person. You would like syntax one error. Yeah. So I wish there was a way to vote in this case. I would definitely vote for syntax error.
I mean, yes. Yes, like okay, now,
Mm-hmm.
hear me out. The reason why I said syntax warning is the developer made a mistake. So the error feels like we are shouting the person's face
Mm-hmm.
like you did something
Yeah.
very wrong. But the warning
But
is more
I
like,
guess, it's not.
hey developer, you did something wrong and this is what
Yeah.
you did wrong. So I'm voting for syntax
Yeah,
warning.
well, I think I would agree with you on syntax warning as well for that. I mean, it's something they should progressively correct, provided this warning is there to. I mean, people would often
Yeah.
see it and they would notify the maintenance and they would be able to correct it. So I guess that makes sense. So why I said you're a nice person. Yeah. So let me see. I think that's everything I have in here for. I think it was just these two updates here that like let me say caught my attention the most. Right.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, so another request that I wanted to ask is, can you walk us through how you actually downloaded this alpha version? Because I know
oh,
that it's not out. Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to download it from the website, but I don't want to contaminate my environment. It's as messed up as it is already, so I don't want to cause more chaos. So, what I did, I think you'll be able to download 3.14 from
Okay.
their website as well. I'm not sure. I think it might show up somewhere there, right? But the way I did mine was I used a Docker release, right? So I just go to. Sorry, guys, I mostly navigate through URLs to be honest. Clicking buttons can be funny. So let me check if they have it in their
I
downloads.
actually understand.
Yeah, they have a pre-release. Yeah, exactly. So they have a pre-release
It's
in their download. Yeah.
pre-release, yeah.
So you could check this place. Yeah, this is it. So you can do download for this side. I think the file should be somewhere down here. Exactly. So the download link should be somewhere here like this.
Oh, and please,
Is that?
okay. And please, if you're watching this stream, no, I just wanted to add something. So if you're watching this stream and in your mind you are like, okay, I want to check out Python 3.14, please don't try to download it directly on your laptop because you would definitely mess up 3.13. And I know that with every release it comes with its own
Yeah.
bugs which are yet
Yeah.
to be
That's what.
found and reported, or they are still in process of fixing it. So you should do what Mohammed is about to show us, downloading it in an isolated environment and making use of it within the isolated environment
Mhm.
so you don't mess up your flow.
Yeah, I mean that's a very, very good point. Oh boy. So what I did was I used a like a Docker build of that specific version, right? So I have 3.1
Okay.
referenced here. So if I check, if you're looking for the versions of Python, when you come to this part here, you could go to this tags tab, right? Then you search for the version you're looking for. I just typed 3.14. It gives me every version they have on 3.14. There is 3.14 for like on a Windows server. I'm not a fan, but if you're a fan, dream, that's it. There is they have a slim bullseye. If you use Docker, I mean, you would understand this, but
Okay.
if you're not using Docker, you're fine with this version I'm about to show you. Just go with this Alpine version, right? So 3.14 I think it would be A7, yeah, A7 hyphen Alpine. Like this is the one you want to go for. It might not show up immediately here, but it actually exists. Yeah, this is it. So 3.14 is more straightforward. Is why I always just go for this exact one. Once I know the version of the software I want to use,
Okay.
I just type in the version and I add hyphen Alpine to it. If it was Node.js, I could say if they release Node 42 or something, I could say Node 42 hyphen Alpine is going to work. There is mostly always an Alpine release for most of them. So I just use an, and if you don't want to, if you don't know if an Alpine release is not available, you could just use the normal release like this. The reason why I like Alpine is just it's very
Oh.
lightweight. If we check without Alpine, let's see, you see the size. You see that Alpine version was about 18 MB or something. But if we checked this one now, look at even
Okay.
this, the one that is supposed to be slim is 46 and 43 MB. There is Bullseye, which is 344, which not me. There is Bookworm,
So
which
is there like a difference between Alpine and Slim? And
is
Jonas, you are not, I'm sorry, Jones, you are not late. I mean,
mm,
you are obviously late because we've already gone through some releases on Python, but we are still on the stream, so you are not
mm.
late. Okay, and then
Okay.
the question I have for you, Mohammed, is there any difference between Slime and Alpine?
Yeah, the core difference is the operating system. For instance, if you're using this Windows Server core or something, right, that means you want to test your Python
Okay,
on a Windows server, which is annoyingly 2 gig, and I'm never going to download it, not in this lifetime. So
all
there
right,
is this one 2 gig, 3 gig. I mean, the major difference is for Slim, there are some that give you
yeah,
uh let me see. There are some specific tools that are available on those operating systems that are not available on some. But in most cases, you are fine with Alpine. If Alpine doesn't work for you, then try Slim. There is a way I don't know, there is a kind of hierarchy I have in my head. But if you notice you're having some kind of build errors in your Python, like maybe you're trying to install packages and you're having build errors, to be honest, just go for Slim or
yeah.
there's a Buster version as well. Like just go for Slim or Buster. Okay, they don't have Buster here. No, I think that would be Bullseye in this case. I wish there was a proper documentation for these things, but I don't think there is.
Bullseye.
So yeah, so I would recommend just going for something like a Buster, right? It's mostly compatible with most of these common build tools, but the size can be heavy. When you do Docker, there's I think that should be another session. Let's leave it at that. So Alpine, sorry, I was going off topic. So yeah, once you have your target version here already, so you could just come to,
Yeah.
let me show you the okay, I'll close this up. Ideally, right, this if I you see I don't have pi 3.13, like nothing is coming up, 3.14, nothing is coming up, right? So if I
Okay.
run this command, you can run this is you could say docker run, then you specify a flag that's minus IT, which states that you want to run it interactively. That means it would give you the outputs and all of those fancy things, like in a very
Okay.
interactive way, something like that. Then you specify the volume, right? So the
All right.
volume is more like you are telling Docker to use your current directory, it should map it to like the Docker directory internally, right? But the first thing I want to do before that, I want to specify a working directory for the Docker. So I would do something like this slash code. That's the directory that I'm creating for my own self inside the Docker container. Then the next thing I want to do is minus V. That's to specify the volume, right? So this volume is more like I'm mounting my local
Okay.
Docker's directory. So I'm going to just do dollar sign pwd, right? So let me quickly show you what pwd does. So pwd, let me do echo pwd. So pwd just tells you your current directory. I've forgotten the full meaning, but it's a commonly available variable,
All
yeah,
right.
in any Linux based OS, right? So I did pwd, then I would use a semicolon here, then I would map this my current directory to the working directory I specified in my Docker container, which is slash code, right? So once I do this, the next thing I want to do is I actually want to now write my Python, what do they call it? My Python command to run the script. So I can do Python, then the name of my script, that's, let me say pep 36, like this. So from what you can see here, okay, I think I didn't specify, you need to specify the name of the Docker image you want to use. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to use Python
Okay.
colon 3.14.0
Four,
A7, like this, right? So let me just use it to check
seven.
the version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what it does is it tries to, again, I didn't specify the Alpine version. So yeah, I'm a mess. So I was supposed to, but let me show you guys what would happen. The first time you run it, right? I don't just want to download the bloated version of this Python. So the first time you run it, it's going to try and download this Python 3 point something version for you since you don't have it locally, right? So let me just leave this to download. But the subsequent time you run the command, it's going to just execute it for you immediately since you already have the Docker image pulled locally. So from what you saw here, it says unable to find image Python 3.14 blah 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 locally. Then it goes on to pull it from Docker Hub in this case right here. So with my slow network, maybe in 3 hours it should be done. I
Okay.
think it's almost. Oh no, I don't think it will be done in a long time. Look at this. This is going to 200 MB and stuff. So I would actually just
I think it's
this
almost done.
and not waste everybody's time. So I would use the one I already have downloaded, which is the Alpine version. So I would use Alpine. You see, this runs it immediately and is almost as fast as running it locally. It's already local, anyways. So this is Python
Ah.
3.14 like this. Then if I wanted 3.13, right? And I know 3.13 is no, I'm not using the alpha candidate, so I could just run it like this. I have this locally as well. So that's how I have this 3.13 version. Then the way I have that conveniency
All
set up,
right.
where I did by
Okay.
3.14 thing like that, it's a Linux thing. I mean, I don't know how they do it on Windows. I'm not a fan. You guys should read their documentation. So, oh boy, I don't miss the chance at training Windows. I don't miss it. So, so you guys can check your documentation on Microsoft.com or something, wherever you check it, if there is a documentation. So,
Damn it.
so there's this command on Python, sorry, on Linux, where you use to create alias of you
Yeah.
use it to create a nickname for any command, right? For instance, if I wanted to confuse somebody now,
Yeah.
Golang can run Python. Let me show you a very simple trick I would do. I would do alias of Go equals to Python 3, like this. Before you know it now, I would do Go. People can easily fake you with this thing on YouTube or anywhere. I can do Go, then I can say, what can I say, Seth? Let me run this. Let me even do Go version. Look at this. Doesn't make sense. So I can even do Go.
Wow.
Yeah, I can do Go pep 3.6 like this. And you see Golang is running a Python file. It doesn't make sense. If I even want to be extreme, I can even make it look more real by doing something like this. I'm not sure if this works, but let me try. So I can say go run. Yeah, I don't think it will work. Let me try it. Let me see, 7. Yeah, I don't think it would work. But maybe if I added this, yeah, it's not going to work. So it doesn't allow space in between, but it allows just a single keyword. Like I'm sure there will be a trick to make this work. But I mean, I just fooled a couple of people. If I showed them this on Twitter, they'll be like, "Oh, Golang is running Python." Nah, it's just an alias. So the same way we can use that alias to um, specify something like this as well. Since we already have that Docker run command in this case, right? So we can just create an alias for it, or alias, anyhow you want
Yeah.
it. So we could say alias pi 3.14 like this. Then you specify your equal to like this. Then docker run it working directory code volume pwd like that. Then you have code like this. Then you specify Python 314 a okay 0 a 7 I think. Then alphin ipime. Then you now specify the Python command. So like this, right? So if you try py 3.14 and you did version, it should give you this, right? If you even wanted to do for pip, you could do that. You could say let me see, you could say, I mean, if there's is a specific kind of pip you want from that Python version, you could do that as well. If it comes installed with pip anyways. So you could do pip, then you could just do it like this and try like this pip.
Peep version.
Yeah, hopefully it comes with pip. Yeah, it comes with pip. So you can see the same way I did an alias for pip as well, right? So this is another like convenient way to use Python without actually installing it on your local PC.
Wow.
To take this up a little bit further, you can
Okay.
even add this to your this this is feeling like too much of a combination of a lot of classes, right? So let me open my terminal. I would my load scripts for my terminal. I'm trying to be less of a Linux nerd or something. So yeah, so this is my the first file that loads when I open my terminal. This is it. So what I'm going to do is
Wow.
I'm going to use that alias here, right? So it loads Python 3.4 for me automatically anytime I open the terminal. So even if I delete this terminal, open a new one, and okay, I've not actually sourced it, but I think it should work. Let me see Python 3.14 version. Yeah, you can see this works, right? So this works automatically. So even if I reboot my laptop, it would always work. I don't need to install it in a one weird directory anymore. So this is another fast way to install Python if you have Docker installed already. Yeah, I hope that little shenanigan made a few sense to some people as well, because I felt like I was rambling a lot anyways. So probably Sophia will probably make a video for everybody when she's free as well. So oh, I think she lost that connection. Okay, well, if you guys have questions, I mean, you can just post it in the chats. Actually, you can post it in the chats. But yeah, that's basically how you run any version of Python you want without actually downloading it, or without, let me say, yeah, well, in that simple term, we can say without downloading it, anyways. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete this, close this, bring this up. Awesome. Yes. So I think there is one tiny little thing we agreed to bring up, but let me see if our network is back. Not yet. I wanted to bring up something actually. All right. So that's this desktop application which I brought up Qt.io, which is a desktop application library that I just built to have some kind of common utilities people use when building UIs, right? So if you're not familiar with Qt, right? Qt is basically what runs on most of the GUI applications we use these days, like down to some desktop applications, down to cars with UI systems, with smart fridges and all those fancy what do they call it? Those fancy UIs you have around all these IoT devices and all, most of them was built with Qt, right? Natively, it's a C++, it's a C++ library, right? But they also have a binding that makes it work with Python, right? Since C++ and C, they have a nice and fair integration with Python, they were nice enough to provide a binding for it officially. So this is it. So you can see they have a reference in C++, in QML, and in Python as well. QML is a kind of tooling they built by themselves to build UIs as well, which is nice actually. So yeah, with this, let me show you with the Python version, right? You have to do a lot of things manually. You have to focus on actually writing, what do I even call it? You have to focus on writing the native Qt code than even like building UIs, right? You have to focus too much on the code itself, right? I mean, too much. Let me try and find a sample for you guys. So, okay. Let me see a Qt widget. Why do I keep getting like this? Okay, CQT documentation. Then checking the Python reference. Okay, yeah, so this is it. Qt for Python. Let me do 6.9. This should be the latest. Python 6.9. So there's a quick start. Let me see. Let me just go to getting started. Install this, install that. Okay. So yeah, look at what I'm saying. To make a single button appear and a single box, you have to do an entire an entire like story of a thing and all like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean this is what you have to do. It doesn't look big, but when you start writing more things that grow, they become ambiguous, right? So this is usually not something you want to do in this aspect. So yeah. This library I built, it helps you do things really fast and clean as well, and in a more composable manner, right? So you can see from here, we created an app, we showed the maximized version, and we mounted it. Actually, let me show you guys a demo. Talk is cheap. So yeah, let me just use this same file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install. Yeah, I'm going to install it from here. So I'm going to do, the name of the package is Melid, by the way. I don't remember how I came about that, but that's the name. Pip install Melid, like this. Then it's going to install it to one specific place in my PC. Then I'm going to set up a main.py file, right? So the first thing I want to do in this case is let me see. I definitely have a build error. You know what? Let me not be a stubborn person and use a proper environment. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do UV add Melid instead. Yes, so select our workspace. So this is going to install Melid for me instead. I'm using this UV tooling, which actually like and is really fast. Yeah, but my network is not like proving me like properly anyways. But yeah, it's done. It was actually fast. So I have Melid installed here. So what I want to do now is let me copy this code from the demo, which I actually think is outdated. Let me check one of these examples here. Let me copy this. Is this complete? Oh yeah, this is something I would show you guys eventually as well. I have like a Tailwind implementation for this. It's very, very nice. So yeah, let me copy this, copy raw file, paste it here. Then I don't need this one anymore, like this. Actually, let's not do something too complicated for now. So let's just do this part. Actually, this that was still a lot. Yeah. So I have a router bonded with the application itself, right? So from what you can see here, I specified an index route which just goes to the login page, right?
Sorry, is this project the Tailwind project?
Yes, yes, yes. Let me, I'm trying to, this is not a way to showcase states, but
Oh yeah, I'm
let
back.
me
But I
properly,
don't know if you can see me.
you said? Yeah, I can see you though, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I was asking what this project was about.
Yeah, it's this
Okay, can you
desktop
hear me too?
application.
Because my network sort of tripped off and oh,
Is that desktop
Melid,
application project that I
yeah.
was telling you about the other time? Remove all unused. Yeah. So let me show you this actually, sure. So I can have
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I can have a button in here. Yeah, the button should be imported from Melid anyways. So let me just import it from Melid dot widgets import button. Then I can specify a text for this, like say click me. And one other thing you would not find in most, or let me just do something like this. Let me do yes, yes. So let me do uh, there's a state management thing here, but let me show you this first. Let me show you the normal one. So I have a value here, variable counts starts from 0, right? So what I want to do is I want to increase the counting from like 1. What is this saying? Yeah. Okay, the thing was not closed. Sorry, what was not closed, guys? Okay. That was very weird. On click events. Does a lambda expression need some kind of closing or something? Interesting. I don't know what that was, but did something change in Python again that I don't know of? I mean, oh, you know what? I'll give in. I'll write a proper function for it. I'll give in. Yeah. So I'll define on, or let me say set counts and be like the, what do they call them? The React folks, like this React people and stuff. So, okay. So I'll add a button and let me let me make this a label and I would call this lead demo, but I would import it from here, label like
Okay.
this. Yeah, then I would have my F string formatting in here as well. And I created a router to just go to the root page in here like this. I'll show you the router thing actually in a sec as well. So if I want to run this, I can do uv run main.py. If everything goes right, I should get a
Can
pop-up
you
window.
raise your terminal a bit?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me close this and just put my terminal on the side. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if this is better. Is
Yeah,
it better
it is.
now?
It is. It's more. Yes, it is.
Okay. So if I do this uv run main.py, it should bring this up. But if I'm clicking this
Wow.
count button, like nothing happens. You can see the layouts. Let me try to put it at the center. I mean, it's been it's been a while. I even messed around with the whole thing. So I can specify alignment, QT. You know what? I'm going to copy the code from somewhere here. This. So Qt dot alignment flag dot align center. I think that should work. If it doesn't work, don't blame me, guys. Okay, it puts it at the center for some reason. So yeah, and I can actually do a kind of flex box kind of thing. And I think that was what I was going for as well, right? Yeah, I was going for box direction. Let me see. Let me see. I've forgotten the syntax to be honest, but okay, yeah, direction row. That's the part I'm looking for. Direction. So I added a kind of flex. There's column reverse, there's row reverse. So what I want in this case is I want column. I want them to be on top of each other. All right. So I can run this again. Then you see they are on top of each other, right? So I think another thing I want to do, I want to make them
Yeah.
vertically centered. So I can also do that with this weird flag they have in Python, which something like V center, H center as well, something like that. Let me see. Yeah, V center, then I would have H center as well. Okay, I guess it's just the height of that widget. I'll leave it at that, anyways. So what I was going to show you guys is this count button, right? Um, okay, I'm still visible. Someone called me on my other
Yeah,
phone.
you are.
Okay, so what I want to actually show you guys is the state updates, right? Which took me blood and nights to implement, but it's going to look like a breezy thing now. So if I do counts plus equal to one, it updates it in background, right? Let me show you. So print counts. It updates the value in background, but nothing happens on the UI. And
Okay.
trust me, people that do
Okay.
Python, they would like people that do desktop applications in Python, they would understand how difficult what I'm about to show you is, and they would appreciate this library more. So let me show you. So see now from this side, if I click this button, okay, it said unbound variable. Okay, let me see non-local. Okay, sorry, non-local counts. I hope this works, so you guys don't have to laugh at my Python knowledge. So I hope it works. Yeah, it works. To be honest, that took all my courage to type it out. So you see now the value is changed like counts, but it's not updating on the UI. How do we do this update on the UI? That's where the tricky part comes in.
Why?
Yeah, it's because the app only renders once, but we want to force it to re-render again. But unfortunately for us, it's not built to re-render. But I found a way to make it look like it's re-rendering, right? So which is this state management thing I introduced. Yes, in here, I love this feature so much. So so I have this state, what do they call it? A kind of, it's more like the way you have use state in React, but in this case, I just have states like this, right? Then I would set this to 0. Then let me import state from somewhere. Where did I put state? Okay, I said store, right? This thing is a documentation, even.
So
Yeah, so I imported state from store now. Like the store is supposed to contain a couple of other things which has not been implemented, but this one works. So I implemented this store. So if I come here, you see this state is of type any, which is not supposed to be of type any. I didn't add the typing. Pardon me, guys. So, so yeah, what I want to do now is in this in my count, instead of having a static value, right, of this counts in this, where is it though? Where is it? Yeah, in this place now, instead of just having this value here. So what I'm going to do,
okay,
right, let me show you guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass in a state to no. I'm going to pass in a state function. Let me just do it. This is it. So this state function is basically used to do modifications for any state that you have, well, that you have set. I would explain that in a bit. A lot of these states make sense
okay,
immediately, right? So the state I want to monitor is the count, right? That's the first argument it takes. Then I want to say count dot get, right? Which is supposed to, okay, it returns a type of any. I didn't really add a typing for that actually. So in this case now, I want to do set text to, this text now, right, is actually showing this counts in this case like this, right? You know what? Let me move this here. If I organize this, you guys would enjoy this more, but you would have to bear with this on the go demo. So so yeah, I have this, and it's supposed to be yes. So it's supposed to be set count plus one, something like this. So I can do count dot, sorry, dot get. Yes, this I'm supposed
the
to do
value.
here. So this what is happening here is going to be, this set count is going to be called whenever this state is updated, right? And like whenever I do set state updated, right, this state method would be called, and it would call this, let me just try this thing. I think the guy
Okay,
is rubbish. I won't lie to you, it's been long I used this package. Okay, yeah, yeah, that happened. See this place now, I'm supposed to do get, and I'm supposed to even do get in this place now, because it tried to add state object and int object as well. So I don't want to teach you guys rubbish. Max recursion exceeded. I should really, really write.
There was a
I
recursion
should really write the
error.
documentation for that. Okay, wait. Set text. Oh, wait though. Now I have the state.
Have you seen the
I
error?
haven't. I haven't. Okay. Boy, I haven't seen the error. And besides, I don't trust the code in that README file. But let me copy the code I have in this basic, if you guys allow me. It works. The one in this base builder folder works, actually. I'll copy it and just show you guys a nice demo. That's what I should have just done in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, I still find that you did this. I mean, you literally
I
walked
mean,
us
this one
through the
works. Look at this
process.
one
So,
now. It works. Yeah.
oh
This is like
wow,
a pre-made example. I mean, the repo is very old. This is like 6 months ago. So I don't really remember most of the things I did. So if I select Golang here, okay, let me show you this password one. This username now, you see as I'm typing the username, it's showing up on that place. Usually that is something you can't do in this framework on a normal
yeah.
day. Like you can't do that. And the password as well, like it comes up. But once you type pass to some extent, right, it deletes the objects. I think that was what I did here. So it says where is it? Oh yeah. Look at this now. At some point, once you start typing the password, like it hides the entire component itself. I don't know how to this is just like a framework thing. It basically deletes the password component. But let me show you this. So this show and hide, I bet you cannot easily do this. If I mean you can do it, but it's not easy to do it, to do something like this. It's coming up easy in this case, the way this state is operating, but it took a lot of work to make this work. Then this router thing, you see when I click now, it goes to the I actually tried making a text editor with this. I think I should actually show you guys. It will show you what this library can do. So I can open a folder from here, but I don't think the folder would really be shown anywhere. It will just tell me I selected a folder here, something like this. Right. So that's just what this one does. Then let me now show you what I
Wow.
did with the library. After I built it finished, I wanted to test the limits. So I built one joke of a text editor called a ZS editor. I mean, it's private. It's it's private, but let me show you guys. Um, so I'm going to quickly clone this. It's okay. I should probably use sorry deactivate then gig. This project is one of the few projects I'm actually proud to call a project. So let me open the project in this case. Yeah,
Wow.
here do we have it? I mean, I like building things and testing the limit, and this project specifically was. I even got carried away, and I kept building the text editor. I kept building it till I got busy from work and I abandoned the entire thing at once. I even have support for I was writing the support for Golang, syntax highlighting, JavaScript, Python, and TypeScript and all. That was everything I could make work anyways, right? As at then. But man, this project was actually fun. It tested what I knew about Python. It really did. So let me do uv run main.py. So it's going to sync a couple of things in background anyways, but before it does, so I would show you guys a couple of things. The way I did the component layout is also something very, very impressive. At least that's my own opinion, right? I did some kind of app layer. I like the composition you can have from using this Melid package, right? If you look at this place, I have which I
Yeah.
specified a sidebar and a content area in this case, right? And I'm even, if you guys have not noticed, I'm using something like Tailwind in here, right? So that's basically what I'm using. Okay, so the library has loaded here like this. You can see. So this is the, I was making it look a little bit like VS Code. So this is the settings page. This is the like normal, uh, what do they call it? The file explorer like this. I won't try to open a folder because it doesn't
Okay.
work. But I'm going to show you the few syntax I have. I have Python highlights in here, so I'm going to use that. So I can say dev main equals print hello world like this. Yeah, like this. Then I can do class car, then dev init like this. I mean, this basic highlighting works, right? I can switch it like this. Then if I decide I could use yeah, I could use TypeScript. So let me use Golang. So I could do package main imports fmt like this. Then say font main and do fmt dot println. This kind of shenanigan from Golang like this. I mean, things like this too. Like I could get these basic things to work, right? And I mean, you could do more if you kept building on this. That was just the point I wanted to make, right? And I think I actually made it with this. I could do syntax Python, which
Okay.
I don't know how easy you would do this in most other frameworks. I don't know, but this Qt framework is actually an industry standard for building UI in any environment. It's natively a C++, but there is a
Yeah.
Python binding for it. That's why it works. So it's really, really nice. Anyways, that is that
I
on my
see. All right. So it looks like we will have to wrap up the stream. Uh
yes.
my my network has tripped off like twice already.
Oh,
So so but this was really fun. Yeah, this
yeah.
was really really fun, and we should definitely do this again. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we got to talk about the Python 3.1 updates. Please remember, do not install that on your laptop if you are very new to Python, or if you are currently working with
Oh
Python.
boy.
Always do, um but you can install it in an isolated environment using Docker, so you do not break your code. Because I was about to install the Python 3.4 on my laptop, and the first thing that came into my head is, nah, you will mess up the projects that you're
You
currently
messed this
working
up.
on. So we got to play around with, well, not really play around, more like find out the two awesome updates on Python 3.14. Hopefully, in a couple of months, in 2, 3 months, then it will be more production ready for a lot of us. Um, then we got to see Melid. Then we got to see Melid. Is it Melid or Milid?
Yeah, I think
By
Melly.
Mohammed here, where, I mean, it's an amazing tool where you can build desktop app. In fact, amazing desktop app or amazing UI using Python. Now, I'm
I'm
waiting for
telling you,
someone to come
support
and
is
tell me that Python is not that good when it comes to UI. And then I'll pull
mm.
out this tool and be like, you know what? That is not true. And I'm gonna do a little code and be like, yeah, bro, this is a standard UI.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we got to also play. We got to also see that, and thank you, and for everyone that has subscribed so far on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I just hit to 50 subscribers. I think, as as of during the stream, it should be 2:55 or thereabouts.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mohammed, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you though.
Hello.
Oh boy, I'm not muted, am I? I can hear
So
you.
either my network is bluffing or his is bluffing. Sorry, no bluffing, buffering. Okay. So I guess we have to wrap up the stream now. Please, if you've enjoyed this live stream so far, do well to subscribe. Hopefully, I get to do this another time with Mohammed because he's like an amazing, yeah, because he's like an amazing developer for me. Yeah, looks like my yes, I know you can hear me, but no. Yes, I know you can hear me, but my network is still as bad as ever. One of the downside of using MTN. So regardless, thank you for everyone that's joined the live stream. And if you are going to watch the live stream after, thank you. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube, do well to hit the subscribe button. Um, I especially make videos around. Um, I currently have two playlists. One is Crash Course on is well the second Flax tutorial where I get to break down Flax documentation in that playlist. So it's more like everything that you need to know when you are learning Flax after you have finished learning Python. All right. So, Mohammed, is there any other thing you want to share with us before we end the stream?
Nothing else. Just that this has been really, really fun for me as well. Like, I think I've been looking for time to show people a couple of the things I've built, but I haven't had the time. But I mean, showing this one, which is a little bit old of all the things I've built in a while. I mean, it's actually entertaining. It's nice. It's fun for me actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, See, this just shows how amazing he is. I mean, this is like an old project. Come on, a magic manual. So anyway, thank you. So I guess we would be ending the stream now. Like I said, do want to
Mm-hmm.
subscribe if you love Python as much as I do, and you love a place to learn more
Mm-hmm.
about Python. All right, so I'm ending the stream now.
Yeah.
Do have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.